Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Saturday, and you know what that means. We're going to do a quick review of this garden, then we're going to go to you and celebrate what's going on in your garden. But before we do that, when exactly is the right time to harvest your garlic? Well, it's starting to yellow off a little bit, and I'm not sure. Let's see what we got here. Okay. You want those cloves to be developed. Clip this top off. And I can feel those cloves in there. So we're going to go ahead and harvest these. I think we're ready. Yep, these cloves are nice. See how many more I can break off. You can just weave these together. While I fumble along with this, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of our friends and neighbors around the world. Larry's vegetables are really starting to come in now. But the berries that he planted as a landscape, they're ripening like mad. This week he harvested several bowls. There's nothing like stepping right across the lawn to grab a little bit of breakfast. Larry's combination in-ground and container garden has served him well so far this spring. Thank you, Larry. We look forward to many weeks of terrific harvests. Cassidy is new to this community and comes from Cape Town, South Africa. Of course, they are going into winter, so cool weather crops are on tap. Thank you, Cassidy. These are beautiful, and welcome to our community. Art left his daughter in charge of his deep mulch garden for a few days, and he missed the very first picking, cooking, and eating of his squash. They still look pretty tasty, Art. You did a good job. Thank you. Weren't those incredible? This is why we do it. To get our motivation, to get ideas, to get inspiration. And I invite you to join us. All you got to do is send me a message at waylandsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. Well, that's not a half bad braid. There's going to be some good eating. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our friends and neighbors around the world. We didn't forget Nora's weekly splash of color. The care she puts into her flowers is obvious. Thank you, Nora. This is beautiful. Florida is warming up nicely as summer approaches. Bruce's carrots are going to seed in his deep mulch food forest. Can anyone say yard-long purple beans? Amazing! Bruce, simply amazing. Thank you. Denise, your fence full of flowers looks great as they're starting to take off. This will be wonderful when they're all in bloom. And your raised beds are filling out nicely. Thank you for the excellent update. I'm telling you, our friends and neighbors put a lot of work into their gardens. Please leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. Well, we got one, two. There's a nice one over there, not quite big enough. But I think we've got our first crookneck squash that I'm going to bring in. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more. Walter's taken trellising and plant supporting to the extreme. And that allows him to squeeze a large amount of food into a very limited area. Walter, your cucumbers have reached the top wire. That is such a clever idea. And when those start hanging down, I think everybody's going to be amazed. Thank you, Walter. Charlie Wells is new to this community. He has started a channel of his own. I've linked Charlie's channel in the description box below. Charlie's harvest so far this spring speaks for itself with a great variety of awesome vegetables. We're glad to have Charlie as a new friend. Welcome to the community. And everybody go ahead and take a look at his channel. I'm telling you, our friends and neighbors are awesome. Please hit the like button. It would let YouTube push this out to more people that might want to learn how to garden. And the blackberries are fantastic. And that's why we do it, because it tastes great. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one of our friends and neighbors. Marie is back from Jamaica with more from her channel about container gardening. If you recall, she has no soil and has no choice but to use containers, and she is still able to produce enough food for her entire family. Please check out Marie's channel. I put a link in the description box below. Very inspiring. The cabbages that we grew in the cold frame, they're still coming on strong. And this little patch of beets is doing pretty good in this spring weather. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more of our friends and neighbors. Jason and Robin's first time raised bed is growing like mad. Was growing like mad. Oh man, hailstorm. They said they will check back in with us soon. The damage was pretty dramatic, but they wanted everybody to know just what can happen. Thank you, and we'll stay tuned for future updates. I'm not going to have time to wait till Trellis Tuesday. It is amazing how fast these grow. With the rain that we've had recently, you want to make sure to keep the suckers out. And any lower leaves that are showing any sign of touching the ground, you want to get those off. You do not want any waterborne diseases starting up your leaves. Even if you don't have to do anything with the suckers, if you get hit with some high wind and they're not wrapped, you do run the risk of having them snap off. As we move towards the end of spring and getting towards the beginning of summer, we will have some pruning and trellising to take care of. And then the real work happens, the harvest. And we should have a pretty decent harvest looking at how many tomatoes we got set. But let's go ahead and take a look at one of the suckers that we did transplant. Now, it wasn't very many days ago when we put this in the ground. We had just a couple leaves left. Now those two leaves have now got big enough they're touching the ground and they're already making suckers. Right here, we've got another big sucker coming on. So this is almost big enough to start trellising. We'll give it the first couple of wraps. You can do this too. You can turn one tomato plant into several, and there's still plenty of time in the year. Now it's just past lunchtime and it's already 100 degrees out here, heat index. Everything's kind of pulling their leaves in, trying to protect itself from respirating too much water out. Going forward, it'll be Trellis Tuesday. We'll catch up anything we don't get throughout the week. If you put a little bit of effort in every day, it won't be such a big job. Rob and Valerie have rigged up garbage cans to make this wonderful leaf mold to feed their container raised bed garden. They've had an excellent week, but the weather is turning hot in Texas and the shade cloth will need to be deployed soon. They did lose a few vines for that nasty vine borer, but were able to save the squash. Valerie's flowers are also blooming nicely. And like a true professional, Valerie has plenty of starts to fill in all the holes left by the harvesting. Valerie's abundance is a testament to the care she takes with her garden. And your garden is simply blessed. Thank you, Valerie, as always. Now you know how I like to just kind of plant heavy and once in a while we get a surprise? Check this out. Let's see what we got here. I guess I dropped a daikon radish seed. Wow. I guess that could have grown a little more. I do advise you to come along and be part of this group. We're just a loose-knit community of folks that like to get our hands dirty and grow things that taste good. No commitment required. But I guarantee you, all other gardeners, they'd love to see what you're doing in your garden. This is where we gain inspiration. This is where we get ideas, and especially where we get motivation to come out here and do this day after day in the freezing cold or the blistering heat. If you'd like to learn more about the deep mulch, click that link right there and I'll meet you right back in the garden. If you want to learn about the living soil, click that link right there and I'll meet you back in the garden. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.